Hey, I'm Katrina Mitchell.
Hey, I am Jonathan Mitchell.
2020. All right, so 2020 was a challenge for everyone, but our year started off rocky. Um, to begin the year, Super Bowl, that's the end of January, 1st of February. We went to church that Sunday. We got home. I started cooking to get ready for the Super Bowl, and we got a phone call. The first phone call that we got was for Mom Mitchell. So we got a call that Mom Mitchell just was having trouble catching her breath. And they were actually having to airlift her to Wilmington, North Carolina. So, we're trying to recover from that call. And maybe 45 minutes to an hour later, got another call that my mom, Miss Carmen, was in the hospital. So that was the beginning of 2020. Fast forward a few weeks later, about 3 to 4 weeks after Mom Mitchell was hospitalized, she did pass away, and that was in early February. My mom, Carmen, she did recover, and she was able to come home. And then our daughter Camile, she turned 21 on August 3rd of 2020. She 21, yay. I'm legal. She, had her party and did all those things. And 3 days after her birthday was August 3rd. 3 days after her birthday, she had a very, very bad accident. Camille had been T-boned. She went to a food truck and was doing a 3-point turn to get out of a parallel parking space, and some kids stole vehicles and decided to race. She ended up with a bruised lung. Her pelvis was broken on both sides. Her jaw was broken, and her left femur was crushed. Camille ended up having 2 surgeries. Her jaw was wired for 6 weeks. She actually had to have a rod put in her leg, had to have, occupational therapy come. She had to have her grandmother nursed her, everything. But again, they told her it would be 6 months before she could walk. And again, look at God. 6 weeks later, she took her first step. So, we were rejoicing in that. Time goes on. I remember in October, with our church ministry, we have a women's ministry called Life Givers. And doing a call, or, at that time, it was Zoom because we were still on lockdown. It was virtual. But we did a Life Givers meeting for women. It was in October, and it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And Elder Susan, who is the elder of our church, she gave her testimony. She said, she was afraid because of COVID. She wasn't sure of the protocols, but she called her doctor and she felt safe, and she had her mammogram. And that prompted me, because I'm like, it's time for me to get mine. And, I felt more comfortable because she had given her testimony. Had my mammogram around my birthday, and they called me back, and which for me, that wasn't unusual. I have lost a lot of weight, about 6 years ago. So I was called back several times because before, in the past, because of the weight loss, I have a lot of density in that area. So nothing, I thought absolutely nothing of it. At the time, I worked for our church, Life Center International, but I had an unction to actually go into the office this day. I got to reiterate, it was the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So I'm in the grocery store before work getting some collard greens. And I got the call. And the young lady asked me, is this a good time? And I'm like, literally, well, ma'am, I'm actually in the grocery store. Can I call you once I get to work? She was like, yes, ma'am, take your time. So, I get to work, and I just have to reiterate that I worked for my church. So I get to work, and, Holy Spirit was like, go in the sanctuary, spend some time with God, pray, clear your mind, and then call. So I did that. I was obedient, went into my office and I called. And, they broke the news to me that, I had breast cancer. I was what you call triple positive, which means I was positive for estrogen, progesterone, and a hormone called HER2, which causes the cancer to be aggressive and invasive. This was all foreign to me. You can imagine my surprise. I'm thinking that they're, going to give me a clear bill of health, and they just told me I had cancer. And it's right at 9:50, 9:55, and I have, at that point, I'm still at work, and I had a 10 o'clock standing appointment with our Apostle Murphy. So I get off the phone. I'm like, oh my goodness, I got a meeting with my boss. And him being the loving father that he is. I call him, and I'm trying to be, chipper Katrina, as always. And he picks up the phone, hey, Katrina, and I just crying and snotting everywhere. And he's like, next thing I know, he's in my office, and I'm just like, oh, he's like, oh my, what's wrong? And I'm like, I got cancer, oh my God, And he's just like, trying to gather his thoughts. And he looks at me, and the first thing he said is, does Johnny know? Yeah. And I said, no, Dad, he doesn't. You're the first person. I just got off the phone with the doctor, and he hugged me tight. And he says, call Johnny. Talk to your husband. Let your husband know what's going on. And then I want you to call me back so we can pray.
I knew God had it. No matter what it was, what was coming, I never had any doubt or fear through this whole process, man. It's really been a blessing to me since we're on the other side of it to experience this, because it helped me grow, not just in God, but it just helped me I don't even know how to describe it. It's weird when you go through something in life. You have two choices. It can either make you bitter or better. And this has definitely made our relationship better. Helped me be strong for my son. Because at that time, Camile was in Maryland. And recuperating from all of that.
Her accident.
And, like she said, I just lost my mom first of the year. And she's, big piece of my life. She's a very sweet lady. And one of the reasons why I am the way I am. But so it's just, I knew something was up, and we just was going to, deal with this together.
Apostle Murphy, he came back, he gave me some time. He said, call me, once you talk with Johnny. And he gave me some time, and he came back and he prayed fervently. And he told me to walk in my healing. And I've stood on that this entire time. So, kind of fast forward. Again, we got through Thanksgiving. A little skeptical about telling the kids. But I want to, we've tried to raise our kids to just put God first in all that you do. And can remember it was, we got through Thanksgiving, but, we did sit down with Josh. So I'm all, I'm trying to okay, Katrina, don't cry, be strong, let him know. So, we sit him down. We sit Joshua down, and he says, Mommy, do you believe God for your healing? And of course, I'm, crying and snotting because, you pour into your kids and you pour into your kids and you don't always see the product of that. But right at that moment when he looked me in my face and he says, Mommy, do you believe God for your healing? I said, yes, Joshua, I believe God for my healing. And he looks at me and he says, well, Mommy, you're healed. And he stands up and he says, now what's for dinner?
It was kind of tough, but at the same time, I didn't really realize what was going on and stuff. Like, I didn't really know. I couldn't really acknowledge that she actually had cancer because she looked fine. She didn't look tired or anything like that.
I was in disbelief, for one. She FaceTimed me and was in the bed. And she was like, I have something very serious to talk to you about. And I was like, I think I was in the middle about to go somewhere. And she got really serious. And I think I was, I had a light mood. And she was like, yeah, I have something serious to tell you. And she was like, I might have cancer. And she started breaking down on the phone. And at that moment, it's like when you hear that, it's just like, what? What'd you say?
So that was our year, 2020. I ended up having to have a lumpectomy. So I had my surgery on January 21st. I just remember just having the unction to kind of just like take a couple of pictures, just of myself. And that's not something, people that know me, that's not something that I do. I'm not a selfie girl. I don't take a whole lot of pictures of myself. I don't take a lot of pictures, period. But I just, had the unction, take a picture of yourself, before your surgery. So, I had my surgery. Everything went well. During this time is when everything it hit me. It did, the conversation with my dear friend Kim, telling me that I needed to go to war, that the adversary was after me and my daughter and my family. We went into prayer. We did. We went into prayer because God was telling me that he was calling me to a season of rest. And I had two prolific encounters with God, with the Holy Spirit. The first one was doing a through the cancer center. They have different outreach. Everything was virtual, but they were doing a writing class. And a young lady, we had some quiet time, and she was writing, and she shared. She said, I just want to know, just why me? Why me? Why me? And when she said that, I'm thinking, shucks, why me? I feel the same way, why me? And it was just like God just came into the room and he said, why not you? Why can't you face this and be a light and an inspiration to other women and men who, may be going through something similar or may not even be dealing with cancer, but are actually watching you and your walk. The second encounter of 2021 with God, and he was so clear, and he says, Katrina, I got you. Checks in the mail, people providing food, grants, insurance. The list goes on and on and on, but he just provided. He provided for us. And it's just like him just wrapping us in his arms and saying, I love you. I got you. Just focus on me. Going into March, I was told that I had to have chemotherapy. I was told that before my surgery in January, so I was given 6 weeks to recoup, and they had to install a chemotherapy port in my chest, and just a lot of different things to get ready for chemotherapy. I just remember just being in my room, and I'm weeping, and I'm not talking about I'm crying. I am weeping someone just passed away. I'm weeping. I am horrified. And, Jonathan called me and he's like, okay, I'm 5 minutes away, come on out, and I went in the kitchen.
You said you didn't want to go.
And I told Camille, she's like, Mommy, what's wrong? Because not used to seeing me crying and upset
Yeah.
and stuff. And she's like, Mommy, you know, with concern all on her face, Mommy, what's wrong? And I'm just like, I don't want to go. I'm scared, you know. And I mean, I'm crying and snotting, and she hugged me and she gave me a pep talk. And it's funny, you know, because I've spoken to her about this pep talk that she gave me,
Yeah.
and she's like, I don't even remember, Mommy. You know,
It was God talking through her.
It was God talking through her.
It's crazy because I really don't remember exactly what I said. She's here now. I talked to her, but honestly, I had my own incident that had just happened not too long ago, a couple months before that. So all the questions that I was asking God, like, why? What did I do for this to happen? Like, what did I do for this to happen? That was just really my question. Like, I don't deserve this at all. Like, I feel like, why me? Why is this happening? Why do I have to be strong and go through this? Why? Like, just more so why? And I was just telling her, like, you know, I honestly don't remember exactly what I told her, but I just know I was telling her everything that I was thinking. And while I was saying it, she was relating to it. And I could see in her face and her heart that she felt that deep, like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. And it's like, yeah, I mean, we might not have the answer right now, but we'll know in the end why everything happened.
So she had just gone through something.
Yeah.
And so God was able to use her to encourage
There
me.
you go.
I had gone through probably a month, four chemo sessions, and it still had my hair, you know, intact and everything. And at that time, I had my hair braided. And my mom, you know, she was in the chair getting her hair done, and we have the same hairstylist. She said, oh, Miss Katrina, she tossed me a comb. She said, go ahead and start taking the braids out your hair. I'm like, okay, you know. And so I start, and I'm like, you know, the hair starts coming out. And I just remember just, you know, dropping the comb, and the tears just started flowing.
Why do you think your mom continued to braid your hair during her treatments?
I think she did that because she like wanted to do something to where, since she was always in the bed, whenever she would have enough energy, I feel like she did that because she kind of wanted to like bond and be able to talk about stuff that's happening, like with sports and in school, without always having to like go out somewhere.
Why did you cut your hair?
I cut my hair to, you know, show my mom that I support her and that she's not alone. For women, I feel like hair is, what did the Bible say? Hair is your glory. So I'm like, yeah, I can only imagine how you feel like walking around with no hair. You just don't feel womanly. You don't feel beautiful. I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and do that and show you that I'm here with you, and that none of that matters.
So what I ended up having to do was chemotherapy for 4.5 months. I did 25 rounds of radiation. And on top of that, I actually had to do 36 weeks of Herceptin treatments. And the Herceptin treatments was an infusion.
How did your mom's illness affect you?
I actually was not in Charlotte. I was living in Maryland at the time. So every time I talked to her, she gave me like strong mom, how she usually is. Like, she didn't give me weak. So I really didn't get to see her suffer like how I heard that she was. So it didn't affect me like how it affected my brother or my dad.
So during my 8th grade conditioning, I was trying to get ready for the 8th grade season, and there were a lot of times where I didn't know if I could make it to practice, or I didn't know if she would be all right and stuff like that. So it definitely took a toll on me whenever I was like working out, because I would be thinking about her and stuff. And so even in school, I would be thinking about her. Like, sometimes whenever I would get a call from her, I'll ask her if she was okay almost every time. And also, like, some stuff happened where, because I was distracted during my conditioning season, I didn't get to make it on the football team, but it still helped me grow as a person.
I now value my family so much more than I ever did. And again, I wouldn't change any of it because I know it's for a reason, because God told me in the beginning, why not you?
Yeah.
Why not you? So, I know that I went through this for a reason.
Yeah.
God has restored relationships with my family. Without going into a whole lot of specifics of who, but family members that I've not necessarily had relationships with. I continued my treatments, my Herceptin treatments after radiation, after the hospitalization, from September up and through March.
That's right.
From September of 2021 up until March of 2022, continued to have my treatments, and I am now cancer-free.
Yep.
How do you feel about your mom?
She still acts like super mom, because even when she was tired during chemo and heavy chemo, she would still make sure that I was okay. She would always talk to me. Always wouldn't mind like doing stuff, like going out to eat and stuff, even if she was tired when we were out. And I just feel like it's a blessing that she's still here with me, because there are a lot of people that have had cancer that have just died or have gotten to a condition to the point to where they're not the same as they were before. And I feel like spiritually I've improved, and so has my parents and my sister.
I love her. Like, I'll do anything for her. I really feel like words can't express how I feel all the way, but I do feel like it's a deep bond between me and her. And I feel like, honestly, like, I could never go on with life without her. I feel like if something ever were to happen, my life would just come crashing down. Oh my God, hold on. My life would just come crashing down. Like, I just feel like I can't really go on with my life without her. Like, I just feel like she's the one thing that, I don't know, just keeps my life together. Like, I don't know, my puzzle isn't complete without her. Like, I just can't do things without her. So she means a lot. Definitely means a lot. I just can't, I don't know. She's my missing piece.
Things are just getting better and better, He's blessed us to start a business out of all of this. And who would have thought, from between COVID and my mom passing and my daughter getting injured and her having cancer, that shouldn't be going on, but it is. It's done. It's happening.
But God.
Yeah, so we just thank God for all of that, and He deserves all the glory and honor. So that's where we're going to press on from now into eternity, and just share it with other people so that they can tap into it and have a little piece of light of that.
That's right.